Man, F that countdown, man. I'm going to let that stuff go to 0. How's everybody doing? It is late night color commentary. As I noticed some people wanted to continue some discussion, and I was asked to start up a panel. So I figured I'll just come on, fire up a stream for anybody that wants to come on and have an open panel. I'll moderate. I don't have to say much. You know, I'll always put my 2 cents in if needed, but I wanted to give you guys a chance to talk to each other. So I'll just keep talking until people want to join. I'm gonna drop the link here in just a second. And that's in right there. Again, if anybody wants to come in, just come on in. And I'll keep it open. What you do? You still up, Chris? Or are you just trying to hype me? Well, let's see who's around. Let's see if we can drum anybody up. All right. Well, we'll wait. I'll just put the dude. That's an awesome overlay there, Chris. That picture you got, man. Dude does some really good work. By the way. As they got 4 watching, who's here with me? Sound off if you're here. Yeah, man. I guess the bots are watching me. There's 2 bots watching me, huh? There's no way it's counting my other 3 because I'm not logged into those ones, but 4 people watching and nobody sounding off. I already refreshed a couple times. Anyway, we'll see what happens. I might just start talking to the wall just to get it on recording. Oh, here we go. We got Brian coming in and back. Hold on. Let me pull him in.
All right.
Hey, how you doing, Brian? Crypto, how you doing, Crypto? I had Brian in for a second, but he just left.
No, it was the other stream that was still connected. Can you hear me?
What's going on with my volume? Hold on just a sec. I can't hear you in back. Hold on.
It's probably my other thing. Let me close out the other stream.
Say something again?
Yeah.
Oh,
there you go.
There you are. I got you now. Go ahead, Crypto.
No, I had to close out the other stream.
Yeah, Brian also I had my main speakers turned off too for some reason. They go out when they don't get power enough. Let me pull Brian back in. How you doing, Brian?
Hello, how
Thanks
you
for
doing, guys?
thanks for coming in, man. I thought I was gonna have to be alone here for a second.
No, I had to get the crow ready
I
for
was
the
just
tour
about
haters.
I was just about to do a private monologue, at least for the recording
The
value, for
oh,
the
the crow
VOD
thing. I
value.
don't.
But
I gotta change my icon. I gotta get my thing back up again.
So, Color, would you like salt or pepper on your crow?
salt or pepper, I don't know. The crow, I've never had it, so I'm gonna have to go something heavier than salt and pepper. Probably like like that's why I always say jerk seasoning, because you get the
Yeah,
right jerk, and that's all you can taste
Don't
anyway.
worry,
You
I'll
know
give
what
you another plate. It's on me. The
I mean?
other-
I'm gonna put a.
But I really don't plan on eating any crow anytime soon.
That's one right
oh,
there.
you will.
I,
It's
I
a.
noticed
It's a.
I
It's
got
a
like
green
I
clover.
got matching number of likes, but if you didn't have it, if you didn't get a chance, just hit the like for me, man. It'll help, you know, help other people realize there's more than me still awake. Brian probably already unsubscribed from me because he's so pissed at me lately. Hey Brian, did you get a chance to watch my hey Drew Batron? How's it going, man? Nice.
I don't know what's going on with this thing.
Well, let me know. Hang around and chat, even if you can't come up, man. You know, we're here.
What Drewtron is in the chat room? I don't know.
Yeah. He says his electricity just went out. But
Electricity. What is it? Storm or something?
I'm not really sure. But Brian, did you get a chance to watch my show the other night, Thursday night? The little rundown, the hour and some long rundown I did on the training video, the hype videos.
No, I didn't watch all of it. I only watched
I didn't
towards the
see it.
end.
I didn't know you made one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, you know,
I
I was
watched it
trying to
towards.
look, I was trying to come from a really fair perspective because, believe it or not, I do acknowledge their hype videos. You know what I mean in that sense, but hype videos are meant to do a certain job, and for me, they actually worked. You know what I mean in some way. Like I came away with a feeling a little bit encouraged as far as well, maybe there's something going on bigger that we don't know about, but it still makes me wonder why we haven't seen that. Like for instance, what I point out is that the guy that I'm watching in those videos like isn't feeling any rib pain anymore. There's no way. You know what I mean? Like some of
Mm-hmm.
the stuff he was doing, so it's like number one, it knocks out the excuses as far as that goes, but it showed me some things like, okay, well, I'm not used to seeing him being able to do this way. Can that translate to the field? You know me, I'm not a believer, so I don't think it matters one bit. And I'd be curious to look at training video from last year, uh, and we may see the same thing and be just as fooled. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not like backpedaling or nothing, but I did want to give a fair assessment on
But,
what
but
that
if
kind
you're
of video
being
does actually show a person like me because of the particular things that I, in my opinion, think he needs to change to get himself to the level that you claim he's at. You see what I'm saying?
well,
So it's a fair video. I mean, you might be pleasantly surprised. Is all I'm saying.
I might be a little happy, but I won't be totally happy.
But I do make it clear at the end that I haven't. I mean, that doesn't make me a believer. It gives me more stronger hope, but it doesn't give me any faith.
Well, you may have your reserve, but Tua Tiger Goat Alova. I'm sorry, I had to say the goat. He's 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 gonna show out this season, and we're gonna stand by him as fans, united, and we're gonna support this kid. And if this season he gives us any reason not to, then y'all can go ahead. You can go out there and take the tanks, and you can go out there and throw the bombs and the grenades
Oh, we
at
will.
him. Oh,
We
I
will.
will, and
But
I'll
the
allow you.
question is, will you join us?
I will allow you to
Your tanks and the grenades are gonna be
because
fired.
we have coaches right now that have experience. We have Mike McDaniels that's making the offense to help Tua, and if we go out there, which we should do in the off season, And in free agency and draft, we attack everything that we need to help this kid. This season he has no excuse. So this concept that we need to bring in a backup quarterback to challenge Tua. If this doesn't already put a chip on Tua's shoulders to get better and improve, I don't know what it is. So that's an asinine take. Tua right now is in a position where, like you could see even in his videos, he knows what he needs to learn. He even talking to his trainer. He said that, hey, let's go out there and practice in the rain or practice in these certain conditions. And yeah, you can make the argument he should have done it before. But golly, the kid's doing it now, you know? I mean, you can't keep talking about the past. If the man knows what he needs to work with, even Frank Smith had pointed out certain flaws about Tua that other people said that, he need to work on. And if our coach sees that and Tua understand he needs to work hard in doing that, then I should be excited to see if he takes that step or not. And if he doesn't, then it is what it is.
Actually, it isn't what it isn't. But fair enough.
Who can argue that?
I don't know. I mean, to me, it's just, it's just one of those things, what can you do but wait and see? But I just, it's like year 3, we said all the same stuff last year. We watched every game that goes by. Oh, and by the way, I just wanted to point out, since I didn't get a chance to earlier, this narrative that when I bring up the fact that that New Orleans had the 32nd ranked, they gave up the 32nd number of pass yards in the league going into the game against Miami, right? And the first thing they say is, well, look what they did to Brady the week before. But they fail to realize that game was in Tampa. Right. But when they shut Brady down, it was in Tampa. Earlier in the year, when Brady went into New Orleans, he did what everybody else did. He put up 375 yards against that Saints secondary.
You talking about, when he went to New Orleans,
right.
At home, he cracked
because New Orleans was giving up 312 yards per game in passing at home, and that was ranked 32nd. And we're not just talking about barely 32nd. No, the next rank, the 31st team was at 280 per game. So the leading up to that game in New Orleans, you can even check people like TD's chat logs. I was predicting a 300-yard game for Tua and 2 touchdowns at least. Because of the fact that I looked it up, I did my research, I saw that the Saints had the 32nd ranked pass.
But how many passes given up at home? Throw?
What's that, Crypto?
How many passes did he throw? He didn't throw that many passes.
Well, I'm not sure, but my point is that the argument I get, the pushback to that I get, is that Brady got shut down the week before by the same pass defense, and they just ignore the fact that game was in Tampa, not in New Orleans. When Brady played them in New Orleans, he put up 375 yards on them, just like everybody else that played them at home in New Orleans.
Yeah, didn't they have a bad game against Philly? Didn't Jalen Hurts do
New Orleans, the Saints, New Orleans?
Yeah, how many
I'd imagine
Jalen Hurts have
because you figure they've got 6 games at home or 3 games at home that are division opponents.
Yeah, the Panthers.
So that's
the Falcons and
that's 6 more games at home, or 5 more games at home, 5 or 6 more games at home that were to non-division opponents.
Yeah, 5. Yeah.
So we're not just talking about Tampa Bay and I mean, if
New Orleans.
If they're putting up 312 yards per game against that pass defense,
they shut him out, didn't they? Shut Sam Darnold.
Well, somebody had to put up 300 yards a game against them. They were averaging 312 yards a game at home. Now, granted, Brady
At
put
home,
375 up, so that allows another
that
quarterback
number.
to put up less than 300.
200,
You know what I mean?
to get that average still,
Right,
yeah.
right. So you're probably
Somebody
right.
put up I
They
think
shut
Sam
down who
Darnold
they
did.
needed to, probably.
Yeah, it was. I think it
Including
was
Tua.
Carolina, but they split those games against the well, they swept Tampa. I'm talking about
What's
the
up,
other
Big
team.
Drip? Thanks for coming by this late.
I think.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I just
They'll be
doing was
fine if they
going by
play.
the numbers. All I was doing was saying, if our quarterback is at least serviceable, he should put up a
Well, the
300
one
yard
game
game
we're
here
gonna definitely
on New
have to
Orleans.
circle
You know what I
there,
mean?
Brian, is that game against the Steelers. Because if we don't win that one, we already know what the narrative is going to be coming out of that game. If it's no game that we it's not the most must-win game of the season, it's the Steelers game. Because Lord knows if we should lay an egg against that in that game, Dolphins fans ain't gonna be able to survive. We have to win that Steelers game, even more so than the Buffalo game.
Right, exactly.
Because if we lose to the Steelers, because the narrative is going to be, well, the Dolphins can't beat Flores. That's all. Never mind, it's the Steelers. They just going to say, they're going to
Oh, you're
automatically
talking
say that
about
the
that
Dolphins
man
can't beat Flores.
Flores.
That's going to be the narrative. He
No, they
stole our
need to
secrets
win.
and took it to Pittsburgh.
Oh, man, don't worry, we're gonna win.
That's going to be the narrative. Remember, everybody was trying to say that Brian Dable was going to weaken the Buffalo Bills. Well, how come they apply that logic to Flo? How come if the Flo leaving us is not going to weaken the Dolphins?
We got Josh Boyer. We got Josh Boyer here. Josh Boyer's gonna go over
They
there
was
and
using that
spank
same
Brian
thing about
Flores' ass.
Dable leaving the Bills.
God, Brian, they just
I'm just saying
pump
we
it
have
right
to,
all down your throat and you take it all in, don't you?
I'm just saying, Brian, we have to win that game more than the Buffalo now.
That's what I'm saying. Josh Boyer is
have
gonna
to
go
win
over
that
there.
game.
Josh Boyer, Mike McDaniel is gonna go over there and spank Brian Flores' ass.
I hope so
when
too.
Did these guys acquire these abilities? That's what I want to know.
Matter of fact, I predict them to win 13 games. You know that, right? So one of those 4 losses is going to come to the Jets, and it's going to come to the Texans.
And I see a Tua and Waddle. I see a Tua and Waddle.
It's going to be bad losses.
Going to a whole nother level. Oh yeah, it's gonna go higher. Tua and Waddle.
We better win that Steeler game, man. Dolphins fans not gonna be able to survive. It's gonna be in trouble.
Well, yeah, I know they're gonna push their narrative about Flores and stuff. Well, I already told you, Josh Boyer is going over there and spanking his ass. I'm telling you, it's personal.
He's gonna do now. Mason Rudolph or whoever their quarterback gonna be, Flores gonna say, "Well, listen, all you got to do is do this."
Ogball and Jalen Phillips is gonna just raw dog him on the court. I'm telling you, on the field.
Who is that quarterback in New Orleans we just blew? Brock. Damn, I'm catching a brain cramp.
Van Kugel gonna be going on one side. Too. Jerome Baker on the next side. Look up, man. They're gonna pray they don't run.
If we don't treat him like we did that quarterback, then if he somehow escapes and do what David Carr did, then we're in trouble.
So everybody, welcome Mauricio Artiega. I'm not sure we've ever met, but I appreciate you coming in these late hours.
Thank you for coming on. Are you
what's going on, fellas? How's it going on tonight, man? Everybody doing good this evening?
Oh, pretty good, pretty good. What brings you? I'm
trying to figure out. Yeah,
he'll probably come back.
Fixed. Yeah. Tua is.
So go ahead. So who is?
Tua's going to have 4,375 yards passing this season.
Lost you there for a second.
Sorry about that, bro. I was pulling up to my house and I had the Wi-Fi connecting. It kicked me off.
Right on. So what brings you out at this late hour? What do you?
Well, I usually do spaces on Twitter and shit and talk shit, on the mic, whatever. Like nobody's up, and somebody tagged me because I was on the way home. I actually was, I don't have no kids tonight, so I went out and hung out with friends and shit. Went to a strip club and hung out, and I actually had a blowout on 95, so that sucked.
On 95, where you
You
in the
said
East Coast?
blowjob?
A blowout. Yeah, my tire blew out.
So what you in? Okay, I guess 95 goes from Miami to Maine. What
I'm
part
in Florida. I'm in West Florida. I was
say,
coming
what part
up
of 95 you on? Because I got a 95 going through my town too.
Yeah, I was coming up from Boca.
I'm at the midpoint. Yeah.
Oh, you're at the very end. I was coming up from
Maryland,
Boca.
not Maine.
Oh, okay. I got you. Got you. But I was coming up from Boca. I don't know if y'all know where Boca is. I was coming up from Boca to West Palm, and I had a blowout in Lake Worth. That's about 25 minutes away from my house, and I had a blowout. So I had to freaking pull over and, do the spare tire thing and all that crap. And you know how it is when you're like solo dolo and you have to do the spare tire thing. It's like you ain't got everything necessarily to do it. So it took me like about 25 minutes to change the tire, bro. It was kind of sad, but it is what it is.
So is that the Lake Worth you were referring to up there in my avatar?
Oh shit, you're in Lake Worth. I didn't know that you haven't tired. Damn, you stay in Lake Worth, huh?
I'm around these parts.
Yes, sir. So I've been born and raised in West Palm. You know what I'm saying?
Awesome. Glad to have you. Hey man, if you want to help grow us, man, go ahead and subscribe to my channel, but also hit up the Phins Tailgate, man. I will definitely subscribe, bro. Definitely. Yeah, man. My boy, one of my boys that I follow, he tagged me because I put a space up. I was just like, yo, late night Dolphin Talk, like lit night talk, Dolphin Talk. And he's like, hey, these boys are live. Check them out. And I was like, okay, cool. So I just, we're kind of leftovers from the Phins Tailgate broadcast, which usually has a panel late, that goes late night. But everybody was clamoring for a little more, so I fired one up on my channel. Because I kind of work in partnership with the Phins Tailgate. But so I mean, I'd do it more often if I knew there was more people that would gravitate towards it.
Hey, well, usually, I'm up late usually, but man, I just tell you what, boys, man, I'm excited for our season. I'm like so excited for our coach. I'm excited for our staff. Like, bro, I know we don't have any players yet. We haven't made any additions yet, but dude, just the assist coaching staff alone, bro, it brings I'm like very excited. I've never been this excited for a coaching staff ever.
The real question we all want to know from new guys around here is, are you excited about the quarterback?
Bro, I'm okay. I'm gonna be real.
Yes.
I'm gonna be real. All right.
Whoa.
Before, back in the day, like before we even drafted Tua, the tank for Tua bullshit, when 2019 came around and we got Brian Flores, we started doing the tanking shit. I was like, we'll see what happens, whatever. And then 2020 came around and we had a draft. I personally didn't want no quarterback, bro. I was like, I don't believe in none of them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I feel like, and I thought, I thought Tua was a byproduct of, the superstars and the organization that he was around in Alabama. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I thought at the time Herbert was gonna be a bust. Because if you can ask anybody in the world, bro. If you look at the tape, the college film,
have a high draft pick game.
Nobody thought Herbert was going to be good.
They called him Tannehill 2.0 for some people.
Exactly.
Some circles, he was called him Tannehill 2.0 like that. Exactly. That's a little harsh on the guy.
Exactly, bro. And then Burrow, he was just a one-year wonder type of deal.
He was a one. Yeah, that was the narrative going towards him. Maybe he's a one-year wonder. Yeah, it was like we was in no man's land in that draft, man.
But, I feel like, Tua got the raw deal with the whole situation the last 2 years with the Flores situation, how he was holding him back or sabotaging what people say or whatever it was. I'm a type of dude, I'm not going to worry about the past. I'm going to worry about now and the future.
Right on.
I feel like our coaching staff, I feel like McDaniel, I feel like everybody's going to, suit our offense around Tua to his capabilities and to his strengths. So I feel like, we're going to have, I feel like this is going to be the first time in a long time since the Ricky and Ronnie days that we're going to see a powerful running game. Don't get me wrong. We had the 1 year with Jay Ajayi where he did like 3 games for 200 yards. But if you take those 3 games away, he ain't do crap. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So like I feel like we're gonna get to that point where we're gonna be back to the old school Ronnie and Ricky days, maybe rushing for a lot of yards, maybe have a physical team, have an offensive line that can be physical at the point of attack. You know what I'm saying? So the only thing I'm looking forward this year is I just want to see the improvements of the offensive line, the improvements of the team. And I feel like if we just improve the offensive line and improve our running back room and maybe add a couple receivers, I feel like we can make some real noise, man. What do y'all boys think?
I believe. Can I go or Culler?
Sure, go ahead. Go ahead, Brian.
I feel like your take was amazing. Once you said that you're looking for the future and all this positivity, that's what we need now in this community. We need unity. We need to stand by this kid, and we just gotta let these people do what they gonna do. We gotta let McDaniels, and let this coaching staff and let's see what they do this season. That's all we can do. Just wait and see and hope for the best.
Mm-hmm.
But have you ever been this excited? Like I'm gonna be real, bro. The last 25 years, I'm 35 years old. The last 20 years, I want to say, because I started watching the Dolphins like in '92 when I was like 5 years old.
Mhm.
My uncle put me on to them. So I saw when Marino got hurt. I saw when he came back from the Achilles. I saw him ball out. I saw him go through from 90 to 94, 93 when he came back, all the way through 99 when he got shut out, when he got whooped by the fucking Jaguars. That shit still kills me, bro, to see that. You know what I'm saying? Dude, true story. True story, bro. I was watching that game at a friend's house. I was like maybe 11 years old, if that, 12. And we're watching the game. And back then, they didn't have flat screens. Like if you had a big old projector TV, like the projector big screen TVs, you were like hot shit back then.
Right.
Bro, when the Jaguars made it 35-0, my best friend's father walked up to the TV and put his whole foot through that projector, bro.
Man. And that was the first quarter, by the way.
The first quarter. Yes, I know, bro. He walked right up to that thing and said, boom, broke it. And I didn't watch the game from that on. I know he lost. He lost. Whatever it was, like, what was it, like 70 or 60?
7. It was 62-7.
Yeah, I know he lost that by that much. But, bro, I remember I didn't see the game after the first quarter. So I guess it's a blessing in a way to not see how we got whooped up. But, dude, we didn't have no answer from the boys. It was like every time they touched the ball, they were just whooping our ass. And the whole thing was, dude, they had the perfect counter active to our defense. They had the perfect counter to our offense. Like, they were ready for us, bro. And they had
Fred Taylor.
Fred Taylor. That's where Fred Taylor was was in his prime, and he was coming out, and he was like an elite at that point. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And then it sucks, bro, because we had fucking Mark Brunell beat us, bro. Like, that's sad.
Mark Brunell, that was crazy. And ironically, I think we ended up getting him for like 1/2 a season or something
as a backup.
Like,
You're correct.
Back in his career, we ended up getting him. I was like,
and it sucks, bro. It sucks. But you know what I'm saying? Like I have never been
10 years later, almost. I think it was ridiculous.
And it's true. Like I've never been this excited for our coaching staff ever as a Dolphin fan, bro.
Yeah, and I'm very excited to see that run game, and I just can't wait. I'm used to the community back for 2-3 years, and hoping that maybe one time our running back might break up. I want to actually see one of our running backs get on the highlights and stuff like that. I'm glad to see this running game.
I think McDaniel's gonna see now, and I don't know how much, like how active you guys are on Twitter. I'm not really active. Like I don't post shit. I don't comment. I might like stuff, but I just jump into spaces because I like to like interact with a lot of Dolphin fans and talk to them and get where their heads are at and stuff like that. But bro, like everybody's on this kick right now that McDaniel's not going to pick a number one running back, that he's going to probably pick the later rounds running back and all this stuff. But I just want to tell y'all, boys, something. My bad. I'm sorry. I dropped y'all. But anyway.
Good.
Anyway, so yeah, I dropped y'all into like a freaking bucket full of like glass and shit. But anyway, so like the thing is about McDaniel, like everybody's like thinking McDaniel's gonna go ahead and like do like a move where he's gonna pick up a running back, but it's gonna be like in the late rounds type of deal. I feel like personally, since McDaniel's running the team, he might pick an elite back in the first round just because back when he was in San Fran, you know, everybody's like, oh, they picked the late round running backs. Well, guess what? That was Kyle Shanahan and that was John Lynch. That was not McDaniels. I feel like McDaniels, since he's had his opportunity to be a head coach, he's going to want to make his move. You know what I'm saying? I think he's going to want to try to get the best back he can available so he can have a number one running back.
But the thing about that too is, this is the thing about the running back. Boom, we got Salvin Altman. He's going to be right back. He's like a better version. I think they might not keep Gaskins. They might just take Altman because he used to be for the 49ers and they really liked him. And then you got Philip Lindsay, who was a Pro Bowler. So this scheme fits him best than what we was running with Flores was there. So we're going to really get to see, you know, Philip Lindsay like maybe at his best. And then we can also get like a prove-it deal with Rick King, whatever, Mozart. Or we can get a running back in free agency like Coral Patterson to be like a Debo Samuel, or you know, we can get like other.
That's what I want.
Running back, and then that's why they might take a running back later in the round, and they might take a wide receiver or inside linebacker. Or they might get something probably in the 29, or they actually might drop down to get at least more draft picks. So they may actually try to address the running back at least a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys think we might pull the trigger and go for the first round running back or no?
It just depends what they do in free agency, because if they don't do anything as far as like get a running back in free agent, they might get it, but probably in the third or fourth round.
The national talking heads have been real adamant.
Sit on their hands, they're gonna be in trouble.
Real quick, guys, the national talking heads have been real adamant from way early on, months ago, that we were gonna go with a wide receiver at 28 or 29. Back when it was still, we didn't know whether it was gonna be 28 or 29.
Yeah, that we was picking in the 20s.
I mean, and they've still kind of held to that. You know, at least for the national pundits, they're insiders or sources or whatever, or rumors are telling them that we're still on a wide receiver at that spot.
No, right. And I get what you're saying, Markio. I said your name right?
That's Mauricio.
Mauricio.
Yes. No, that's all good, Mauricio. That's good.
Yes. So I get what you're saying as far as if you really want that guy, go get him, because that's what we've been doing in the last past draft. We wanted a Najee Harris. We wanted Javonte Williams, probably, you know, a pick ahead of us. We had Javonte.
Yeah, if we don't trade out of it, we'll probably end up just going with best on board at the time, no matter what the position.
On the 29th?
Yeah. That's usually what you would do.
I hope it's still a wide out.
You don't trade out of it, you know?
Yeah. But they might. That's what I'm saying. I don't know. I hope they don't play it safe this draft. I hope they get aggressive.
So what's the running backs you guys are looking at in the draft? Like, what running backs you guys like? Because I have a certain running back that everybody's sleeping on, and I just wanted to see if you guys are on the same level as me. But I'll let y'all go first, and let me know what running backs you guys are looking at.
And I'll just start by saying the only real exposure I've gotten, it was from that guy Spiller. That's really the only exposure I've really had. But I'll let you guys go on with it. Go ahead, Crypto. You got somebody in mind?
Hall.
Kenneth Walker.
Hall for me.
See, the guys you guys are talking about, my guy, nobody's not talking about, and he's actually the only running back that actually led the NCAA that's coming out of all the running backs in touchdowns. I like the dude from BYU, Tyler Ajiri or whatever his name is. Dude. You guys if you guys haven't looked at his highlights or looked at his stuff, you gotta look at him. He's 5'11", 220 pounds. He is a perfect zone running back. He fits our scheme perfectly. They got him going in like the third round, maybe second round. But dude,
Mm-hmm.
if you ever haven't seen him, bro, just watch his highlights and then get back to me. You can be like, damn, bro, you're right. Like, he is the perfect zone running back. BYU runs a zone scheme similar to Shanahan's offense that he ran in San Fran. And dude, the guy's a beast. He had like, I want to say like, I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't remember his stats, but I know he had the most touchdowns out of all the FBS running backs, and I know that he runs like a 4.3, and dude, he is nasty. Just if you ever have a chance, just look up his highlights and then get back to me and let me know.
Right on. Hey,
It's
real quick, welcome, Thomas. Appreciate you coming back by.
Thank you, Culler.
You couldn't
What's
sleep
going on,
either?
Thomas? How are you, sir?
Good. How about yourself?
Oh
So
man,
we got
hanging out.
Mauricio here. He was just kind of an insomniac too. So sitting around from another over on a Spaces community, and he just kind of dropped by, and so he's giving us his take on running backs right now that we could go for in the draft.
Have you heard of Tyler? Have you heard of Tyler Allegri or Allegri, whatever, from BYU, Thomas?
No. The guy I'd like to get is man, I can't remember his name, but from Georgia. I really like him.
Jared Cook, the younger brother of Dalvin Cook. He's nice, but the only problem with him, I don't think he fits our zone scheme, bro. If you ever get a chance, any of you guys, like I said, look up the running back from BYU. His name is Tyler Algieri or Algieri, whatever. It's like Aggiree or something like that. Dude, you have to watch his highlights. He is an actual zone running back. Like, he actually plays in the zone, kind of like a zone running offense. And he is fast. He's not huge. Like, he's not like 6'4" or 6'2". He's 5'11", 220 pounds. And he breaks tackles. He's patient in the hole, and he like waits for stuff to develop to hit the hole. You know what I'm saying? He's like the perfect zone running back. A lot of people are sleeping on him, and a lot of people are not talking about him. I'm telling you guys.
Now, real quick, Mauricio, everybody knows I like to try to bring the comic relief in. It's a little late, so I'm probably a little dry right now, but we're still concerned about the last tie that came out of BYU, man. You know what I mean?
Oh,
you might be old enough to remember who I'm talking about.
Are you talking about Mr. John Beck?
No, the quarterback out of BYU that won the Heisman back when you and I were younger.
Oh, shit. Wait.
Ty Detmer.
Ty Detmer.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow. Damn, you brought it way back. I even forgot about that.
Who did absolutely nothing in the league. Like, literally
you're
nothing.
Right. You're right. But listen, dude, the way I see it, real talk, the way I see it is McDaniel has
well, we like to make unwarranted associations around these parts, you know what I mean? So
no,
Tua looks like Drew Brees, so he'll be Drew Brees one day, and this guy Tyler is his name Ty, and he's from BYU, so he's a no-go. I'm just kidding, man.
Yeah, no, you're good. Have you seen any highlights? Have you ever heard of him
before?
No,
nobody's ever heard of him. I'm kidding with you. I'll definitely check him out, though. Appreciate that.
Trust me, bro. Y'all definitely gotta check him out because there's a lot of people saying, I don't know. Are you guys on Twitter or not?
What's his last name? What's his last name again?
Tyler Algieri or something like that.
Matter of fact, lots of us are on Twitter, but you can also you can hit me up on Twitter. My handle's in the in my name in the video window, the camera window right here, ColorCon.
Oh, bet. I'll definitely follow all you guys if you guys just let me know what's your handle.
What was that last name again?
Like Algieri, I think it's like Aggiree or something like that. If you go to Google and you type in like Tyler, like if you type in running back BYU, he'll be the first person that pops up. His name is Tyler Algieri or something like that. I don't know how to spell his last name. I'll be real, but he looks really good. And but I wanted to tell you guys something. So I don't know if you guys heard, or I'm sure all the Dolphin communities are set up are all connected in some way or another. But like 3 nights ago, it's funny because Reason did a show on it like yesterday about it, but he was like late to the party. Like 3 nights ago, on Twitter, where I'm like I follow and I'm like close friends. Like we like in like a group chat, we talk. I'm friends with a guy named Joe Robbie. He is
Yeah,
Nick.
I've seen him
Yes.
around Twitter.
Okay, so Joe Robbie's best friend with Nick from Perform, Nick Hicks.
Oh, okay.
And Wednesday night we did a space with Joe Robbie and Nick, and we were on a space with them. You know, spaces is like a big ass chat room, and everybody talks shit, and everybody talks. So I don't know if you guys, you were there. Nice.
Yeah, I was there.
So I don't know if like I'm sure you heard it. Did you guys hear the whole situation when he was talking about Lynn Bowden? How like
Yeah.
you heard about it? Well, if you guys didn't hear about it, let me just explain to you what happened to Lynn Bowden. Lynn Bowden last year, he started going to Perform like a month before the season started, like where they had to go back to training camp or go back to like voluntary workouts and stuff when they opened up the facility to the players.
Uh-huh.
So a month before that happened, he signed up with Perform. So he was doing he was working with Perform with Tua and Nick and all the people at Perform. And then what happened was he went back to the Dolphins when they opened up the facility, and he he went to practice and he was trying to make his like mark made on the squad. And then in training camp he got hurt, and they put him on the IR. So what Nick Hicks was talking about to his trainer, he was like the whole situation that happened was he had like a soft tissue injury. It was like his you're putting him on there, huh? There you go. That boy's a beast. I'm telling you, I gotta watch him. He's nasty. But anyway, so when Nick was talking about Lynn Bowden, he had like a soft tissue injury. And so Flores put him on IR before the cuts. So it made us lose him for a whole year. Now, the thing is with that, they like the things that nobody knows is when we put him on IR, supposedly Flores blamed Perform for the injury. And they put him, and they tried to do like a non-football injury. It was like outside of football. You guys hear about that?
No.
Yes, I heard
dude.
it.
So you were there. You were in the space live, so you heard all that stuff live.
Yeah.
I heard that he tried to say the same thing about Albert Wilson.
Yep, you are correct, sir. And then also, Nick was talking about how the Dolphins wanted to make Tua they wanted Tua to be bigger. They Tua felt like he was too big. Tua, the actual player, felt like he was too big to play in our team. Like he wanted to be like 10 pounds lighter. Like he felt like he couldn't move right. He didn't have like the actual agility like he's supposed to have that he's used to. He felt like he was slow.
Yeah, I heard some shit about Wilson that he had to keep his head down and walk in the hallways and not talk to anybody and not make eye contact because it was that dysfunctional last year.
Exactly. Well, the thing is, remember, Wilson, he didn't know what was going on the first year because he took that COVID break. And then all of a sudden, he just came back to the team. And then all of a sudden, it was like, what the hell is this? Is somebody sleeping on this bad boy?
That's probably Crypto.
Yeah, it might be Crypto.
He's hibernating. You can put him backstage.
I'll just mute him real quick.
Yeah, let me tell you something. I've had a lot of respect for Flo, and I went round and round with Big O about Flo, and some of the shit that's coming out now is just it's mind-boggling that
we've been telling you, man. We've been telling you. I'm telling you, I'm excited about this coaching staff this off season. No more. Honestly, they probably would have just got one tackle this off season, really, and probably would have been a cheap tackle. It would have been enough playing around. No more playing around this off season. No more. We're gonna go get the guys we need to get, and we're gonna build around Tua. No ends or no buts to that.
Now,
Okay.
as fans, I don't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry. As fans, we want to see our team win. But the problem is, this year, the way it happened, I am kind of a little happy that we didn't do too great, because if we would have kept Flores for one more year, bro, I think we would have been in real trouble. I think two would have been probably gone. I think our team wouldn't have been as successful. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Tua and Flores would not have been able to coexist together. You know what I'm saying?
If Flores was here, Deshaun Watson would be here.
I don't think so, bro. That's the thing. Everybody thinks that. I
No,
really don't think so.
Yep,
no. I think it was the owner who wanted Watson more
yep,
than anybody.
and still does, and
Yeah.
still does.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Brian Flores really, really did want it Watson.
That's just, I mean,
But be honest, bro. Are you guys really willing to give up 3 first-round picks if it costs that for a
Absolutely.
player that's not gonna play for like 8
Absolutely.
games in the first season?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I'll do
you
it.
really
Yep.
think so?
Yep.
I'll spend a 3 first-round pick for Deshaun Watson, and I love Tua. I'm a Tua-on leader.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
do it.
Mauricio. I mean, the guy's got he's got Karen flow in his avatar, if that should tell you anything, and he would go with Deshaun Watson too.
No, I feel you. Facts. I feel you guys, both y'all. But the way I see it is, in all reality, you gotta really look at the landscape. Like, look at the whole NFL landscape in a nutshell. You got Aaron Rodgers. Has he won a Super Bowl? The only Super Bowl he won was back in the day, like what, 11 years ago, maybe? Has he won one yet? Has Deshaun won one yet?
We're not even in the game, man. We're
I'm
not
on
even
your team. No,
we're not even in the realm of like talking about comparing ourselves to anybody that's playing in the
No,
Super Bowl.
I understand what you guys are talking about, but everybody's on this kick. Elite quarterback, elite quarterback, elite quarterback. But guess what? You have all these elite quarterbacks in the league, and half of them ain't done crap, bro.
Yeah,
Why?
but they're all the ones playing in the playoffs.
No, I understand. You can get to the playoffs, but
we're
can you
going by
win the big game?
We get reminded of this every single Monday morning after the wild card round, after the divisional round, and then after the championship round. We all go through this every single year on Monday morning. Like, we're surprised. Like, oh, well, that's what you need to get. What? Who knew? You know what I mean?
Hey, let me tell you something, because I've been watching football for a long time. Okay. And you can have an elite quarterback, but it depends on it. A lot of this is luck. Okay. It really is.
Yeah,
It's luck.
see, that's what they try to do in
You're right.
baseball. That's what they
It's
try
luck,
to do in
and
baseball.
It's what the officials call in the game.
But that's what they try to do in baseball. Look, a great player knows how to puts themselves in position to have good luck. That's the answer to that.
Hey, Culler, I'll give you one more. Okay, a lot of it is, does the quarterback get along with the official? I think that has a lot to do with it, dude.
Well, I look at it like it's a pro sport, and now it's obviously out in the open that the officials, have certain control of things, So it's a case where, great teams and great players overcome that no different than they overcome the weather and they overcome the bad field conditions and whatever else. You know what I mean?
Yes,
and those that don't are the ones that are complaining on Monday morning that the officials screwed them over.
Abso-freaking-lutely.
You are right. You guys are right. I'm not even gonna lie. You guys are right.
Hey, I'll give you another one. Is that when these officials are like us. They see these great plays all year long and these spectacular plays that the quarterback makes. And those are the ones they're rooting for in these playoffs. And they're going to give them every single doubt and every single chance to get them through. Okay. And I'll tell you what, I guarantee Goodell was telling them that too. Don't kid yourselves. Okay.
One of the things I remember, though, like, for instance, to exemplify what I'm talking about, for example, the St. Louis Rams, greatest show on turf. It didn't matter what the referees would have done to them. when they're putting up 45 and 50 points a ball game. You know what I mean? It's like, oh yeah, so what, ref? Oh, thanks. You gave us another holding call. Watch this. You know what I mean? And there's Isaac Bruce on another 60-yard bomb.
Absolutely, Culler.
Yes,
but
sir.
the difference, hey, you know what the difference was? And when they played Brady, was they turned the ball over and they gave New England a chance.
Whoa, wait a minute. That was Spygate. That was the year the Patriots were filming their walkthroughs.
Yep. And also, you know what? I don't give Tom Brady the love that everybody else does. Because I'm telling you right now, 3 of Tom Brady's rings came off of Adam Vinatieri's leg, bro.
Yeah,
Straight up.
yeah.
Adam
You could argue
Vinatieri was the man, dude. Adam Vinatieri.
Yes, he was.
That freaking game in the snow made him. Let me tell you something. And he said it. He said that's the kick that made him. That kick was ridiculous, dude. He made that in that snow. It really was. You know what? I know Woodson feels he got robbed in that game, and
That was the tuck rule game, right?
Yeah, and I kind of agree with Woodson. He got robbed in that game.
Yeah, he got robbed. We as fans, we know it. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, but that, you know what? If he didn't get robbed, you would never saw him that Adam Vinatieri kick. Okay, so it seems like everything happens for a reason, and you know it's funny. If you go back, they have a thing on that 30 for 30 now with the I don't know if it's 30 for 30 or whatever the hell it is, but it's the tuck rule. Go watch that, dude. It was awesome. I mean, I tell you, freaking awesome. And they were talking about how much different their lives would have been from that game. But you know what? You make your own destiny. I really feel that. No matter what happens, you absolutely make your own destiny. But do me a favor, if none of you saw that yet, you gotta see that. It was a very good film.
Yeah, it was pretty wild. And just like another game that Vinatieri won for the Patriots. The Patriots against the Eagles, that Super Bowl. Like Donovan McNabb had the freaking flu, he throwing up everywhere. T.O. had freaking almost 225 yards receiving on a broken leg.
Oh, that's
And
right.
the
The
boys
Patriots
still
already
lost.
played them once in the Super Bowl. I forgot about that.
Oh my God, T.O.
Wasn't that when the Eagles came up like 1 yard short of the goal line?
No, that was the Tennessee Titans against the Rams.
Right.
But no, that
what was
game,
his name?
that game,
Dyson?
yeah, that was Dyson. That game that we're talking about right now about the Eagles and the Patriots, that first game. Well, if you guys remember that year, the Eagles were on fire, and then T.O. got hurt like in week 12. He broke his leg, bro. Like literally broke his leg in half. But he didn't play the whole playoffs. He ended up coming back and playing in the Super Bowl. He was wearing a cast on his leg. His leg was still broken, and he still balled out for 220 yards almost. And McNabb had the flu, and he was throwing up, and they came short. But you know what happened? The game was so close the whole game. Guess who won the game? Vinatieri again. You feel me? So Tom Brady, everybody wants to give Tom Brady his freaking accolades, and yes, I won't argue with it. He is a good quarterback. I won't call him the greatest of all time. I will not call him the greatest of all time, just because I'm a Dolphin fan, and just because he's not the greatest of all time. He's had teams around him to give him his Super Bowls. You know what I'm saying?
No,
like he's had.
he is the greatest of all time.
I don't think he single-handedly won Super Bowls, bro.
You don't have
he
to
had a squad.
single-handedly won everything else. He had Bill Belichick, a great coach, and he had a great defense and a great team around him, and which is what we made the argument for also with Tua. Right? Tua needs a team around him, and every quarterback needs a team around him, no matter how
exactly.
he is.
So you're still gonna call him the greatest of all time, even though he had a team around him?
No, I'm going because he won almost a 7. What do you call it? 7 Super Bowls. 7
No,
to
I
6?
feel you, and it's a good argument. I totally understand where you're coming from. I'm not saying you're wrong, but the way I feel personally, and maybe it's because I'm biased and I'm a Dolphin
you're
fan.
biased.
Like
You're a Dolphins fan, but I'm just being objective in the sense where he is the greatest of all time as a football player, and he is recognized around the league as such.
Hey, all I remember is that Tio was so bad. He was pissed off because you're right. He came back and played in that game. He had no business playing in that game. Okay, and he was really upset because he felt that McNabb was like hung over in that game, and he didn't have it at the end. And yeah, there was a lot of stuff that went on in that game. When I tell you,
Yeah,
okay?
T.O. played his heart out that game, bro. I'm not even gonna lie. And like, I won't even ever like, there's a lot of receivers that are divas. Like, there's a lot of receivers that had their problems. But I'll tell you one thing about T.O. T.O. was a really good receiver, and he always left it all on the field. I'll give him that.
Absolutely, he balled out in that game, and I you know what? I was kind of like you. He was a diva, and he would sit there and do his workouts and his I don't know whatever in front of his house and all those stupid things that he did. But when it came to when the shit was on the line, he balled out and he played his best, and I respect that. Okay, and that's all you can root for as a fan of this game, is that when everything's on the line, you play your best. And that's why I always love Marino, because when everything was on the line and everything mattered, he had the balls dropped and they were steel, and they were there in bronze, ready to show you what he could do in the fourth quarter when there was a minute and whatever seconds on the line and there were 4 points down. He was going to go down and score and win that game. And you know what? We haven't had that in such a long time, and it bothers me to my core.
See,
Now,
you
let me ask
you know what?
you this.
To
Let me just
piggyback off that real
ask you
quick,
this.
Thomas, Brian,
Oh,
real
go ahead.
quick to
Go ahead,
Brian.
go ahead.
Like that's how I'll know when it's time for me to eat crow. When I have that feeling again about Tua, when I feel like, man, that our opponent's defense is afraid right now, and no matter what is left on the clock, down by 3, down by 7, I know that there's nothing. I don't even have to watch the rest of the game. I know we're going to take it down and score. That's the feeling that we're chasing right now.
But we had that already this year, bro. We had Tua do it twice against the Jaguars and the Colts.
Not me, bro.
And our
Not me.
defense,
Not me,
defense
bro.
let us down, though.
See, I disagree with that. I fundamentally disagree with that whole premise.
No, go ahead. I want to hear your take on it. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, which game are you talking about? I mean,
both games. Now, hold on. Let me just spit my little rant or whatever you want to call it. Okay, first things first. The Jaguars game. That game, yeah, Tua didn't play like balls out, like balls to the walls, but he played efficiently and he put us in winning position at the end of the game.
Yeah, but efficiently, but see, wait, real quick, pause right there. Efficiently doesn't make me think that no matter what, we're going to win this game.
Yeah, but if we're the Dolphins, and if you give your defense a minute and 10 seconds to stop an opposing offense when our defense is supposed to be elite, like they're supposed to be, like they were supposedly, because me and I'm sure all of you guys on here thought when the season started, our defense was going to keep on going from what they finished off in the last year. So if you're going to tell me, hey, my defense has to make one stop and we have 1 minute and 10 seconds to stop an opposing offense, and against the Jaguars when they were like such a sorry offense back then, I would have been like, yeah, we're going to make that stop any day of the week.
Here's the problem.
But guess what happened?
Though. Here's the problem with that, though. We should have never been in that position. And the reason I say that, you might say, well, that's unfair to say that because, you can't count on blah, blah. you got to remember that our average this year was 20.4, not 24, 20.4 points a ball game. And on occasion, 7 of those points were scored by the defense. So
Facts.
So to say that, minute something left and the defense gave up this or that. Wait a minute here. 20 points a ball game and 7 of those aren't even the offense. I think if we got at least one more touchdown production out of our offense per game, we don't even those games don't even come down to that.
So let me ask you this then. The very next game after, we scored 28 points against Atlanta. So are you not going to give the defense any flack for giving up on the points?
Look at the box score. And you're also talking about in the heat and humidity of Miami, it was one of the hottest days of the season we had yet. And our offensive line burned out at the end of the second quarter, and our defense burned out at the end of the third quarter because our offense doesn't cash them in for anything. Our defense got an interception, gave Tua a short field. Okay, the very next play, he threw it back to them. Okay, and they proceeded to score a touchdown. That's up to a 14-point turnaround.
No, I understand. But
given that everybody thinks the way they do about Tua, that's at least 3 points right there. We gave up plus their score. That's at least a 10-point turnaround.
No, you're correct.
Caller. Thank God somebody sees the damn game the same as me.
And real quick, Thomas, besides the point turnaround, because that you could argue that's subjective. Okay, fine. But what else it does is it not only flips the field position, but it flips the time of possession as relates to field position perspective. That is why our defense was the last one on the field, and we were not the ones burning out the clock with 40 seconds left driving down to kick the game-winning field goal. And had we done that on the drive before, Atlanta wouldn't have even had the time to do that.
There you go.
You're speaking facts, bro. I'm not even going to argue with you. You're speaking facts.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, Caller.
Here's the thing, Mauricio. I'm not arguing that Tua didn't make up for his mistakes. What I'm saying is for everybody to throw the defense under the bus, even if you did that, it still doesn't make Tua look any better.
No, you're right. And, football is a team sport, bro. It's football, it's a team sport. Your defense needs to work with your offense. Your offense needs to work with your defense. They both need to be in unison and be able to make the plays happen and able to win games out. I understand that.
Right. And somebody this morning was pointing out about complementary football being, everybody does this or that and the other. And it's like, wait a minute, complementary football is every bit as much as your offense cashes in when your defense gets you the ball on a short field.
Thank you.
Correct.
That's every bit as complementary football as everybody doing their job. You know what I mean?
Caller. God, oh my God, I love listening
to
you.
let me ask you guys this. I know this is my first time jumping on and talking to y'all.
Don't let this man brainwash you. Don't let this man is into a hatred.
No, I appreciate dude. Even if you disagree with me, Mauricio, I appreciate your take, man.
No, that's good. It's good. It's good. It's all good, brother. We're all
Brian's
fans.
Avatar aggravates the ever-loving piss out of me, but I respect it. Whatever, he's got his opinion.
That's the picture of me in the HR.
So are you a Flow fan then? Were you a Flow fan?
Well, I'm not a Flow hater. If let's at least put it that way. I look at it at this point as regardless of who's right about what and who knows about what went on inside the building. At this point, we all can agree that it was oil and water and it's over with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Correct.
Old news.
And there again, what I have a problem with, Mauricio, is the people that continue to try to push him down in order to prop Mike McDaniel up. That's not fair to McDaniel. It's the same with Tua, trying to push down all these other people to prop him up. It's not fair to Tua.
Absolutely.
No, you're right. You're right.
To blame 52 other guys constantly, doesn't make Tua improve his numbers. You know what I mean?
Let me ask you guys this. So, what are your guys' thoughts on Tua? Do you guys believe in him? Do you think he's going to be able to be?
I believe in Tua. I really believe in Tua.
I say it like this, Mauricio, because
the thing is, I think about Tua is
Go ahead, Thomas.
This is the problem, okay? Is he had a very bad injury, okay? And I give him credit because he came back from a catastrophic. I don't know if I mean, I never had that injury, but I know from talking to other people what kind of injury that is. It's a catastrophic injury, okay? And he came back in record time. And I don't believe in this rhetoric or what they're trying to pull with he's not a hard worker, because if you ain't a hard worker, you're not coming back that fast from that injury. Let's get that out of the way right away.
Yeah, that was a dumb narrative pushed by Tua haters.
But some of us could argue that he wasn't fully back.
He wasn't.
I would say that, yes.
Caller, I agree with you. He wasn't fully back.
And that's where and to jump off your point, Thomas, and to answer Mauricio's question, that's where I still hold out hope. But I'm a person that understands that the word hope and the word faith are two different words. They can relate to each other, but they're not synonyms. You see what I'm saying? So I have every bit of hope, especially from the things I've seen lately with some training, hype videos that have come out, which I agree are propaganda hype videos, but at the same time have seemed to actually serve their purpose on a guy like me, because I understand what Tua's problems are and what he needs to fix. I just don't believe, and I don't have faith that he will.
So can I say this? You guys might beat me up for this,
and it's simply because there's been no evidence shown to me to make me think otherwise at this
Not
point.
yet.
So if I could just say this real quick, you guys might jump down my throat for this. For me, I personally believe, I feel like Tua was better in his first year starting than his second year, bro. I really feel like he was better in a way.
Some people have said that, and that question was posed tonight on the Phins Tailgate show, and I answered it as even. I really think that maybe some things better, some things worse, but overall even.
I think he lost his confidence when he got fucking blasted.
Well, and real quick, Mauricio,
right.
one other thing I wanted to point out was, and if you want to go to I don't have it uploaded on my channel because I'm still kind of breaking my channel out, but I've been doing a regular show on the Phins Tailgate on Thursday nights, and this Thursday night I did like an hour plus long kind of synopsis on that hype video that came out, like the training videos and stuff like that. And everybody knows me to be a huge Tua detractor. Some people call me a hater in denial. You know what I mean? Whatever. I let them have their piece. It's no big deal to me. But so I did a piece where I'm basically pointing out, look, these are the things that I think that this person needs to improve or fix in his body physically to even have the hope of changing, of having the ability to change my mind on the field. You see what I'm saying? Because yes. I see some of the throws he's made throughout the 23 games, and it's like, okay, well, this and that, and the ball ended up here because of these reasons and that and the other. What I see now in these training videos is a guy that's not feeling any more pain. Like he's doing things with hip rotation and certain things in his midsection that tell me there's absolutely no way he's still reeling from anything having to do with mainly the rib injury. And I know people point out the hips. The golf has been taking care of the hips as far as getting the flexibility back in rotation, and that's the key to the core strength. However, when you're talking about throwing on the run and stuff like that, what I've noticed in game is that, he'll be, especially when he's running against his natural throwing direction, but both is he'll tend to want to reset his whole frame to throw the ball to get that power. But what happens when you do that is you set a stiff frame and it ends up throwing the ball on a straight trajectory that doesn't help the receiver at all and ends up behind the receiver. The problem with that is most people, and this was for a long time, there was very few quarterbacks that could even do this. And Marino, Elway, these guys being the types that could, to throw against your natural direction without resetting your lower torso is like, it really, really hurts in the ribs, in the midsection. Like for somebody that is not good, that like the normal person, if you try to do that, you're going to naturally not want to follow through because it hurts your ribs. You know what I mean? Like even a healthy person.
Culler.
You know, so I can imagine that the ribs actually, even a lingering pain, and we're not talking about, yeah, he could be healed, but that particular type of throwing motion, that to me is what's been causing him to reset his whole frame on these bootlegs. You know what I mean?
Just to go off of what you're saying, the only thing that bothers me about Tua right now, and I'm sure everybody notices it, that's like an actual fan that actually watches tape. Bro, have you guys noticed after the injury from Alabama to now, he has like a little hitch in his delivery. Like you see like a little hitch he does.
Yeah. It's
like,
patting the ball.
But
that's the same thing, is that he doesn't have the confidence that he can get the power in his natural rotation because of probably some kind of pinch lingering in his rib from the rib injury. And what I'm saying is, when I was watching the video, the hype video, you know, the people, the Tua, like, you know, diehards, we'll call them, you know, they want to immediately point out the footwork and be like, oh, see, pocket presence. And I'm just like, look, that's not even what I see in the video that encourages me. As a Tua detractor, that's not even what encourages me. What encourages me is the fact that after that footwork, he charges forward with the ball on the run, and without resetting his lower torso, he throws a pretty good, solid, powerful throw to a guy that's at a pretty decent distance. And that part right there was like, okay, you know what I mean? Like, can we translate that to the field now, please? And so that's the part where it's like, okay, my hope is now increased, but my faith hasn't increased one iota.
Culler. Well, I understand what he's saying. No, it's more than from the rib injury. It's more from the hip injury where he's
well, the loss in power in rotation is from the hip injury, but I suspect that's just stiffness. I don't think that's necessarily pain, but that rib injury, like I said, you could be a healthy person, and when you're throwing on the run like that, if you don't reset your torso, you're going to feel a pinch in your ribs. Even as a healthy person. That's why most people can't play NFL or a quarterback in the NFL. You know what I mean?
Yes,
and actually, everybody that says, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yes,
these are amazing athletes, is what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
And actually, the stiffness in his hip, you can see it when he runs.
But that's why, as much as people want to call me real quick, Thomas, sorry to interrupt, but as much as people call me a hater, this is why I have never jumped on the bandwagon about making fun of him about the golf and all that. Because to me, that seems like something Nick would have actually had him do to gain flexibility back in his hips, in his rotation. You know what I mean? That's exactly. Look, if you tie your hands behind your back and you simulate a golf swing, and then you simulate a football throw or a baseball throw or a bat swing or whatever, even a sledgehammer swing, a roundhouse sledgehammer swing, tie your hands behind your back and simulate all of those, and you're going to see it's the same exact damn movement with your hips and legs and everything. It's the same exact thing.
Absolutely.
That's where all your power's at. That's why a noodle arm like me can throw a good 45 yards. That may not seem like much, but when you're down on the field and you see my frame, you're like, no way this guy can throw almost half the field. You know what I mean?
Listen, Culler, it's all in your hips.
Now, I don't have any control because I don't have an arm, you know what I mean? So that's a 45-yard blind throw, catapult style, you know what I mean? But
yeah, unless you're Rodgers, where you could just like flick your wrist.
But what I'm hoping is that the healing, the training that we're seeing on these videos, if it can translate to the field, then we're talking about a case where he doesn't have to catapult everything. I think that's what he tends to do. That's why you get the floaters, you get the, and then when you get on the run and you throw that style, he has absolutely no grip on the ball. And so it doesn't matter if it's wet or not. We see how they come out. Absolutely. They either sail or they fall short.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Now, do I think all that can improve? I never did, but recently these last couple of videos coming out, especially that one, if you watch my show from the other night, it's not part of the main hype video that's coming out, but Perform released another video where they showed him yanking on like a cable and he was like snapping with a hip rotation. That right there, there's nobody in their right mind that could tell me he's still feeling any pain to be able to do that. Now, that guy in that video, I don't care if it's Tua, I don't care if it's, forget his name, I don't even know the guy. That guy in that video, I would say can throw a football.
Hey, so let me just make a quick thing real quick. I just wanted to say I appreciate y'all guys letting me come up here and speak to you guys. I'm going to have to leave, though, because I did not know it's 4 o'clock in the morning, and I got to be at work at 7:30.
We fully expected that, bro. Don't worry about it, man.
But I got to be at work at 7:30.
Just so you know, we Phins Tailgate usually goes at about 10 o'clock almost every night. We have several shows.
You're on MSN. You're on MSN Sport Network, right? You're like with Stephen D and all the boys, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, nothing's technical, I guess, but yeah, we plug all of them guys and they plug us, and we're all, we all try to act as favorable to each other as far as that goes. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, yeah, man. I know I subscribe to the channel, but
our hour is usually about 10 o'clock at night. And
gotcha. I'll definitely check y'all out, man.
But even on the regular nights, it's always at least the Phins Tailgate show at 10 o'clock.
Do you let fans do you let people come up and speak all the time on StreamYard, or do you just do it every now and then?
Usually on our regular 10 o'clock show, Chris, the host, will go for about maybe a half hour or so on a monologue, and then he'll open up the panel and pretty much bring everybody on, and we'll go for an hour or two. All right,
cool, man. I definitely will start jumping on and talking to you guys, man. I appreciate you guys letting me come up. I appreciate you, shooting the crap with me, and I'm gonna come out. I'm gonna get out of the StreamYard. I'm gonna make sure I am subscribed. I think I am for sure.
Sure,
and I'm gonna like the video.
And we don't go necessarily too vulgar, but we also treat it as late night after hours. That there isn't like swear jars and all that stuff. So you keep it respectable. Nobody cares about language and stuff like that too. So
cool beans, man. I appreciate you guys for letting me come up and talk with you guys. It was awesome meeting you guys.
Sure,
I'm gonna be still listening. I'm just gonna put my phone down and just listen to the YouTube channel while you guys are going at it. Sure. And I appreciate you guys, and you have a good night. All right.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for stopping by, Mauricio. Nice to meet you.
Yes, sir. Have a good night, fellas. Take it easy.
Good night, Mauricio.
Thank you, sir. Have a good night. Have a good one.
Once he said that he believes in Tua, I know he knew football.
See, y'all are gonna welcome him over at Reason and everybody, ain't you, Brian? You're like, oh man, that Culler was already getting in his head. We need to work on him.
Don't worry. 5 minutes alone, he'll be back.
No, but I mean, in all seriousness, Brian, what I was saying about the show I did the other night, I mean, watch it, bro. I mean, I don't know how much you actually sat down and finished it out, because I know everybody has their stereotypes about everybody. You know what I mean? But just watch it. You might be happy with what I said.
Cutler, all I gotta say is I love the guitar, dude.
Oh, I know, isn't it great?
Yeah.
I had moved back to Florida right as they were sort of wrapping up the building of it.
Yeah,
now it's in full use.
Right. No, I agree everything that you were saying about Tua, and let me tell you something. Nothing will make me happier than to see this kid succeed. And I know he's trying, he's working hard at it. And I don't know.
You know what? I might have to eat some crow, but at least I'm setting myself up to be right about what he needed to change. I might be wrong about whether I believe he can change it. You know what I mean? But mark my words, if he gets better, it's because of the things I said he needed to change. And that's why I'm encouraged by the hype videos. You know what I mean? Because the person I'm seeing in those training videos, whether I believe it can translate to the field or not is beside the point. You know what I mean? The person I see in those videos to me, if I didn't know who it was or ever saw them play, I'd be like, that person can throw a ball, regardless of what type of ball it might be.
I
You
mean,
see what
I
I'm
need to
saying? So
record
that's
this.
what's encouraging to me. It's like, wait a minute here.
I need to
Power.
save this.
This is somebody looking like a regular stud quarterback. But
Oh
I
wow!
mean,
Can you repeat that? What you said again? You say he knows how to throw the football. That felt good. Can I hear that one more time?
I said the person in those videos that I illustrate in my show,
Okay.
I
All
would
right.
say if I didn't know who they were and all that, and I was just like somebody said, "Here, look at this video," I'd be like, "Okay, I could work with this guy." You know what I mean? Like,
So
can
it
he throw
sounds
a
like
football? You know what I mean? That would be my
sounds like
first
Cutler
thought.
will
Has he
be
ever
buying
thrown
a
a
Tua
football?
jersey, or somebody will be sending Cutler a Tua jersey
Oh, it ain't
this
happening.
season.
Hey, in fairness, Brian, I told you before, I've only ever bought one jersey, and it's Charles Clay, man. And
That's
I
the
ain't
part
about
of eating crow, like wearing a Tua jersey and watching the game on live. And drinking a beer. Yeah, that's the ultimate. I
I'm already gonna
apologize.
have to pay CB $100, man. You're like killing me over here.
the one thing, Keller, that I kind of gives me hope a little bit. I don't know, but coaching does make a difference, and we had kind of like an elite 11 guy as the quarterback coach. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So-
I get it, but again, I say it like this though. At some point the players have to play, man.
Yeah, I know. But
And I get what you're saying. I don't want to discount. First of all, the only reason I discount it is because not one game's been played yet, so we really don't know anything about any of these guys, to be honest with you. But that being said, if we're gonna make fair, presumptions and all that like we do with anybody, then yeah, it looks good. You know what I mean? It's
yeah. Well,
but again, they all that knowledge they could have the entire wealth of man's knowledge about football in their heads, but the players still got to play.
absolutely.
Yeah, but they should be able to determine who.
That's where good coaching, real coaching comes in, and real leadership. Can you get those guys to execute? That's really can you get them to buy in? Because the buying in is what causes the solidifies the execution.
Tua is brought in. Tua is brought in. He is supported, and he feels like he's on the team.
In fairness, Brian, he's bought in now because they haven't even been to one practice yet. What if he gets out there and McDaniel has him doing freaking laps around the building 500 times a day?
Well, then he needs to go and do 500,000 yards.
I'm being facetious, but my point is, what if he's asked to do something by McDaniel that he don't like?
Well, he needs to do it if it's going to make him better.
Well,
he has to believe it's going to make him better. That's my point.
Yeah.
The point I make is kind of like what you're saying. Laps around the building in his head. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because that's going to be
or if he starts playing Jay-Z music, you know what I mean? Like,
huh?
Like if he starts playing Jay-Z music, is he going to flip out like Kenny Stills,
No, the point I'm making is that this is going to be a pretty sophisticated offense.
Hey, Brian, you didn't have to change your avatar on my account. I was just kidding with you, man. It don't bother me that much.
No, the only reason why I changed it because we talked about Tua, so I had to make sure I had the crow ready.
Oh, is that why you got it? You got it changed to like a crashing raven of some kind?
Yeah, it's a crow. So I put
Oh, I get it. Well, that's at least funnier than the Karen Flores.
Color, Color. Do you have are you a little bit worried the fact that it seems like, at least the way I look at it is, they go through the walkthrough, right? On Thursday or whatever, Friday they go through the walkthrough, and they go through the first amount of plays that they do that they're gonna that they plan on scheming up.
You mean on a game day or at the start of camp?
No. I'm talking about like Friday going into Saturday,
right? Like game week,
Sunday.
game week.
Yes,
right.
So they go through all this and they rep it, and Tua's got it down to a T. And if you notice, he goes right down the field on these plays, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But then when they start going into the second part of the game plan and to the third part, he struggles.
Remember what I said earlier about the offensive line only getting to about the end of the second quarter?
Yeah. So, I
It's
mean,
because of the scheme.
yes.
What Chris was saying about running that in the heat of Miami is perfectly valid, and I've been saying it for weeks.
And that's the thing that bothers me. So now
This is what it concerns me, that we're not going to get the quality linemen that everybody's expecting.
Exactly.
Because those guys don't look. We're talking about grown men who came to the league. They didn't come to the league to be running wind sprints in Miami. You know,
unless you're Shula running 3 a day. You know what I mean? To get them in shape.
You know, I mean, it'd be one thing if we're in, Green Bay or, dare I say, BYU. You know,
no. I hear you. I mean, this is, what's funny is this guy's coming from San Francisco. It's a completely different deal down here.
Yeah, and San Francisco's climate. I mean, why do you think people flock there?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean.
Well, they ain't going there
only
for
one better place, and that would be San Diego.
Fires. I know that.
Like there's a couple pockets around the world: Ocala, Florida area, San Diego, San Francisco. You know what I mean? You're talking about the best climates in the world, man.
San Diego's nice, but I mean,
from what I understand, San Diego is exactly like Ocala area.
Yeah.
Like climate wise, does get a little nippy in the winter, but nothing crazy,
Yeah, but it's still the humidity ain't the same heat.
Right.
It's not anywhere along the West Coast. The West Coast is hot too, dude.
That's why I wouldn't mind picking off of Tampa Bay, but these guys now have been doing it for a couple years. They probably want to get the hell out of Tampa Bay. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear you.
They want to go up to Green Bay and then be like, oh, nice practice. You know what I mean?
I hear you.
Buffalo, so places like this.
Culler, do you imagine what it was like in the Shula days down here? It was
that's what's amazing about 72. It's like that's precisely the type of offense we ran. I mean, we only passed for like 1,600 yards that year.
He put them through hell, man.
But we also had Zonka, and despite what people have a fleeting memory of Zonka, but you're talking about a dude the size of Derrick Henry.
And then you had Warfield, which was one of the best receivers in the league.
And then because you had Zonka that had like, God, I forget how many, like 1,600 yards rushing or something. And then you had Mercury Morris following that up with 1,000 even.
And then you had Kick. I mean, come on. Hey, to this day, I still say.
But you also only had 14 games.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's a little different. Hey, to this day, I'm telling you, if
another thing too back then.
Hey, if it wasn't for Shula and Scott getting into it, and the World Football League, and all that money involved, we would never heard of the Steelers, dude.
Right. Well, here was the game.
The Steelers was not going to be the let me tell you something. There was a lot of people who thought Terry Bradshaw was a dumb hick, okay, that couldn't figure anything out.
And here was the gambit though back then. Okay, we knew that because this was before Gatorade. You know what I mean? And things like that. And fans on the sideline and all kinds of stuff to mitigate the heat. To where, defenses today can buy themselves maybe another quarter. Whereas back then, Yeah, our offense would get gassed like they do today. The difference being is the defenses back then would get gassed even quicker. You know,
Hey.
so we were done with the game by the third quarter and just salting it away with Larry Zonka. You know what I mean?
Hey, think about this, caller. We were the original zone blitz. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We were. We had that 57 defense, dude.
Yep.
That was before. You know what? I think Pittsburgh copied a lot of what was going on back in that day. Okay.
Yep.
Don't kid yourself on that one. Okay.
Now, just in case anybody thinks I'm just talking out my rear, you know, I did play in a triple option scheme in high school down here in the South Florida heat. So, I mean, I'm not just saying it in a vacuum. That it's you know what I mean. Like, it takes a certain special somebody to want to do that, and there's just so few of them anymore in the league. I think that's a big time why Miami's struggled so much over the last 25 years. It's not just the offensive lineman position. It's a couple other positions where people just don't want, you know, they just don't want to deal with the heat and humidity like that.
Perfect example. When Ajayi was going nuts, did you see all the Pittsburgh defensive line? They were all throwing up, dude.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, appreciate you coming by, Ali. Yeah, everybody was clamoring for me to fire one up when we ended the Phins tailgate, so I did, and only a couple people showed. So appreciate you're here. Everybody ghosted me. They're like, "Oh, fire up a stream, Culler," and so I do, and we got Thomas and Sleeping Crypto and Tua Terry over here.
Crypto, kick in, dude.
He's thinking about
we got Brian Terry Vialoa.
He's dreaming of Tua in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, crypto done finished.
I don't mind talking about old times, man.
I get. You know, maybe that's what I'll focus the stuff on my channel. Like, I'll just fire up a stream in the middle of the day every day and just start talking old time Dolphins
right?
lore. You know what I mean?
Yeah, therapy session.
Of course, every time I bring up Dan Marino, Brian will think I'm hammering Tua.
You know, it cracks me up is some of these guys that I could tell by their age. They start talking about.
Real quick, I want to see if Crypto's
like,
snoring any louder. Hold
on. No, I'm saying is it's funny.
Hold on a second.
Okay.
Looks like he repositioned himself. He's not snoring at all now. Oh, there it is. Wait. There it is. Hold on. Oh, that's Brian.
Oh, Lordy. I was saying, Cutler is like when I'm talking in these chats, you know, when I'm not, and I could tell certain people, they start talking about Marino, and I'm like, yeah, sure, you have no clue, dude, none.
AB is the worst with Marino. He actually has been going there. It's like, really, dude, come on.
I've been there, done there.
Even knows football.
Even the most staunch Tua lover would be like, AB, shut up, dude.
I mean, I had season tickets back then, so be quiet. I know. I was there. I've seen every freaking game, dude. Okay? Give me a break. And I was a lot of Color. I was at some of the best games that were ever played, dude. I was at the Orange Bowl. I can tell you the games I was at. I was at the game when they had the snow in the northeast corner of the end zone. And they had the snow there when we played New England because of the snowplow incident. We kicked their ass, and then we kicked San Diego's ass And then we played the Jets in the Mud Bowl, and I was at that game. I was at some very, very good game. And I'll tell you, I'll give you a story, okay? A friend of mine, and we were sitting there, we were watching the games, and we're like, hey, we're going to go to that Chicago game Monday night. And all my friends were cracking up laughing. They were going, there ain't no way, dude. You're going to be spending like $200-$300 to get a ticket. I was like, whatever, we'll go down there. We're going to hang out. So we go down there, and we're running around trying to get a season ticket or get a ticket to that game. And it was right before the game started. And we were getting ready to go hit a bar near there to go watch the game. And all of a sudden, this guy shows up. He's like, come here. So we follow him over, and we're like in this field, completely pitch black. And we're like, oh, this guy's going to try to rumble us or do something. And he's like, hey, I got 40-yard line 40-yard line tickets, like 20 rows up. It's on Chicago's side. I'm like, really? Wow. So we end up buying these tickets, and we're thinking there ain't no way the security is gonna just, as soon as we get near there, the security is gonna get us. So anyways, wait, let me finish the story. So the guy sells us these tickets, and everybody was selling them for like $200 a piece. We got them for $50 a piece, and the guy goes, hey. And he pulls out this briefcase, and he's got all these watches and shit. He's like, hey, you want to buy a watch? And we're like, no. We're like, oh, Lord, we're in trouble. So we're ending up on the 40-yard line, right where Clayton caught that pass that got tipped, okay, in the Chicago game. Right where, I mean, Clayton was like, it was like right there. I couldn't scream. Yeah, we were just. I remember looking at my friend, screaming and yelling, and holding our heads because we were like in so much pain from screaming. Going, holy, you know what? How did we get these tickets? It was the most amazing thing, and I'm just telling you, some of the best games that was ever played in that Orange Bowl. I was there with my brothers and my father for that hook and ladder game, and I could tell you one thing: when they did that hook and ladder, we were sitting there, and they came in the halftime. They had the band playing. They had all this stuff going on. You couldn't even hear anything that was going on the whole halftime. It was so ridiculous. And just many memories at that Orange Bowl. The other one was we were there in the closed end of the end zone when it was a Monday night game against Philly. And Jaworski, he was being a baby. He wouldn't shut up. He wouldn't stop. He kept calling timeout like he couldn't hear. Kept calling timeout. Kept calling timeout. Finally, the announcer came over the stadium and saying that they were going to call one more time. They were going to give us a 15-yard penalty. Finally, he hiked the ball and threw a pick six. I was at some of the most memorable games at that Orange Bowl, man.
Right? Something's up with your sound, Thomas.
Oh, you can't hear me?
It kind of, all the bass dropped out of it. But
I was at a lot of those games, dude. And I've been a Dolphin fan for years and years and years. And it just, God.
Yeah, so check this out real quick. I want to illustrate something to Brian too. This is the first game I ever went to. This was Dolphins versus Seahawks in 1990. Can you all hear the sound?
Yeah.
No wind whatsoever.
Look at the crowd and listen to the crowd. There's absolutely nothing on the line in this game. You'd think there was a playoff going on.
For the Miami Dolphins, though, they have already locked up a playoff spot on Miami.
Already locked up our playoff. You just heard the man say it.
Still, they cannot afford to look.
Yeah, right. How sweet is that?
We had absolutely nothing to play for, and look at this stadium.
Matchup with Buffalo next week, but they cannot look past Seattle. Seattle's a legitimate.
As soon as Ahmad Rashad gets off the screen.
And Cincinnati, they are trying to go into the playoffs.
On the other hand, the Seattle Seahawks have taken 3 straight, 4 of their last 5.
I was in the upper deck somewhere on the Seahawks side,
Considered one of the biggest surprises this year in the AFC.
facing our team.
You have to forget about the way that they've won their game.
Let me get past here.
Lionel Williams.
Listen to the crowd, man.
Gator bottled up, leaving the backfield. Only got a couple inside the 44.
John L. Williams, also from Florida. This is the Miami.
John L. Williams.
John L. Brian Blades.
Look at all the Hurricanes they had on their team, man.
John L. has
The Seahawks
35
did.
tickets. All of his family down here.
Little verbal volleyball going on between Ronnie Lee and the Dolphins. Don Shula mentioned that Ronnie Lee, his 12th year now in the NFL, former first-round draft choice with the Miami Dolphins. Had an injury problem, it seemed, when he was with Miami.
Good memories.
It just also proves my point about the climate. Look at all them Hurricanes that went up to Seattle to play. You know, look at that David Craig, man.
Got a man wide open. Tommy Kane again. It's his 3rd reception already. And he's got it to the 30.
Actually, at Culler, another game was
first
that.
down.
Marino's first
And for all
playoff
the
game.
people that thought,
And oh my God, it was so freezing. We were
There's
in
the man.
the
There's the man right there.
in the Orange Bowl and just freezing our ass off because there was a wind.
Look at who that is. Look at who that is. Farrell Edmonds. Both his boys are playing in the league now.
Yep.
One's with
Edmonds, to me, is one of the top tight ends in the National Football League. He's 6'6", 254 pounds. Watch the speed he has once he catches this ball. He just starts running past people and then powers ahead.
he
for
was a
another
good
3 or
tight
4
end,
yards.
man.
Just an excellent rangy player. And when you got that size and strength,
Look
it's
at the
such a
pads
huge
back
target
there.
for the quarterback.
They're huge.
I know, crazy, ain't it?
Yeah.
I think that's Mark Logan in the backfield.
1st and 10. The 44 of the Seahawks. Play action for Marino, rolling the pocket, wide open. It's Edmonds, and he's got another first down.
Yeah, we ate him up with Edmonds that day. I
No, but
remember.
Marino couldn't move because of his knee.
Oh, wait, we got a big defensive play here. We got a big D play coming
Remember
up here.
that. Marino was injured coming out of college. He couldn't move.
Right. By the way, this was week 15 of 1990. So it was December. I believe it was December 17th, I want to say.
Everything else is just the light.
And that was when his offensive line wasn't that great either. Okay.
Dolphins have it back, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
I keep hearing about, Marino was injured too, but he had a great offensive line. No, he didn't.
Look, Sammy Smith.
That was another game I was at, Culler. When they booed Sammy Smith off the field, I was at that game. And I had season tickets with my dad at the time.
That is the kind of running that
Was that when he fumbled at the goal line?
Yep. And he did it the game before.
Yeah, we cut him after that.
Yeah, they were on the road.
Look at that. Look at that. Look at that, dude. Oh my God. Come on. Dude, Brian, you there, Brian? You want to see pocket presents, dude? I'll show you some pocket presents, bro.
No, wait. Tua's better than Marino.
Oh, this is brilliant. I want to see this in real. I want to see this in real time. Where did it go? I got to see this in real time.
Yeah.
Marino
Look at
got
Look at this.
No clue.
I think this is
No
it.
clue.
Look. No, that ain't it. That ain't it. Oh my God. Boom!
Yeah.
Look at that. I mean, come on. Oh, dude.
Yeah, you can't place it better.
And he flicked it. He barely flicked it with his arm like it was nothing. Like, whoop.
Culler. I remember plays where he would throw it and it would come straight down like a
Yep.
like a
Look at this. Look at his arm.
javelin. Okay.
Look at it. Look at this.
Clayton.
Boom. See you later.
It would come down like a javelin to Clayton. It was straight like a bomb. Okay.
God, that was gorgeous. And got the pass interference call.
There ain't nobody like Marino. Hey,
That was
they
Tony
always
Martin.
ask John Madden, Color.
I think it was Tony Martin.
They used to sit there and ask John Madden.
Dude, Tony Martin could catch, bro. That dude would lay all out, bro, for a freaking catch, man. He was great.
On the reception for Martin.
I think this is the play right here. This might be the touchdown.
Goes in motion.
Play at nope, handoff. It'll be a play action when it comes.
Dan Marino is so.
John Madden would always say, the best pure passer of all time was Marino, and it's not even close.
Outside there, Dan wanting to
He used to always say that. You know that, right?
He is involved in everything.
Reminder at the end of today's broadcast, McDonald's and NBC will be announcing the Ronald McDonald Children's Charities Player of the Game.
This is it right here, I think.
A loss of 2 back to the 25.
By the way, he's at the 25-yard line. He's not even in the red zone. Watch this.
Will they give Marino enough time?
No, that ain't the one yet.
Receiver, but a flag is down as James Pruitt is down at the 15. A flag down in the same area. Did Pruitt push off, or was it against James Jefferson?
Let me tell you something. That play at the end of the New England game, when he blew out his Achilles, he was the first game back, and he threw that bomb. Perfect Fryer. I'll never forget that. I was in the end zone watching that, and it was like, you talk about somebody that's got a ball to steal, okay?
Well, Dan Marino came into the game needing 110 yards to pass Norm Steve.
By the way, that referee, his name is Bobby Greer, but no relation. No relation. I looked it up already.
Stop, and you can't touch the receiver that far down the field.
Dude, they called that illegal contact. It was a total push-off. That's hilarious. I think this is it right here. This has to be the touchdown right here. So from the 20-yard line.
Before the end of the year, Marino should be 9th on the all-time passing yardage list. Moving past John Gross.
Nope, another handoff. All right, so gains a couple. All right.
Yeah, he didn't gain too much ever on when it came to running.
Brought down by Tony Woods.
An excellent play by Stratford, just getting back to the line of scrimmage.
And by the way, this defense is absolutely gassed by now, bro. Already in the second quarter. Man, what the hell? God, I didn't rewind that far.
And there is a excellent group of coaches right there. And all of them from the same part of the country.
Could this be it? Nope. Another handoff. Who the hell's 23?
Stratford?
Troy Stratford, maybe.
Hey.
Yep, it is Troy Stratford. Wow. I forgot we still had him lingering around back then.
He was okay.
They're going with a hurry up. The misdirection.
Bring it back to memory.
You know, I must have missed it. It must have been back further, because where the hell did we miss it?
Scored?
Is this it right here?
Second
Look at Duper still wearing the old face mask in 1990.
On their first drive. Now they're looking at 3rd and goal from the 4-yard line with 4.
Yeah, this has to be it right here.
Jensen in the backfield flanking Marino.
Yeah, look. Whoop. I'll just gun it right there. See you later. Between two defenders. Oh my God, that's just unbelievable. I mean, come on, bro.
Color. I used to remember being at games with my brother, and we would sit there and look at each other and go, what the hell just happened? We would hear everybody cheering, and it's like, we didn't even see the play, okay? Because his release, it's like, what the hell just happened?
Yep, and watch, they're going to show the sideline
we wouldn't even know what the
I mean, they're going to show the end zone view on the replay. This is unbelievable. This is one of those random, like no mean nothing games, random touchdown that he threw. That's just like Total signature Dan Marino, man.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
you know,
I'm serious. Color, there'd
God,
be
this is
plays where we
amazing.
would sit there and we're like, everybody'd be cheering, and we'd be looking at each other like, and he didn't have like the replay screen back then. And it was like, we're sitting there in the Orange Bowl, looking at each other, dumbfounded, going, I don't even know what the hell just happened.
Thank you.
Okay?
And look at these old commercials.
Find James Brew in the back of the end zone.
I thought they were going to show
Alabama
it
in the
again.
Fiesta Bowl. And it's a prime-time showdown of the Orange Bowl as number 1 Colorado battles Notre Dame to decide the national championship. New Year's Day, NBC is the place to be.
And to be honest with you, the only ones that were cheering is the ones in the end zone that saw the play in the end zone. Okay? Because we would be like in the upper deck, not knowing what the hell happened. Ridiculous. When I tell you. No, I'm serious.
I think they might show the replay after this kickoff. And that is still Stoyanovich, by the way.
James Jefferson winning the kickoff from Stoyanovich will head out of bounds. So the Seahawks will
The problem was Tom Olivadotti.
Oh, he did all right early on with our defense. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look. Well, we'll roll out. Oh, I forgot about this guy. Oh, sorry. I'll just and then I'll just between two defenders, man.
There was two things going against this film. Tom Olivadotti and the Buffalo Bills. That was the problem. Andre
Did you see
Reed.
the shot he took to the face after the throw?
Andre Reed. Jim Kelly. Don Beebe. That damn guy, every time you turned around, he was a problem.
So the Seahawks will have it first and saw that early lead for Warren.
Bruce Smith. Actually, Bruce Smith didn't do. He never did much.
Watch this. Watch this. Flip. Boom. Total penalty today, man. Total penalty today.
Hey, Color, you realize Bruce Smith never really did much. You know that, right?
Yeah.
He really didn't.
You what?
He got rid of the ball before he could do anything.
And Miami.
We have Richmond Webb. Richmond Webb should be
created a great American champagne.
Yeah, he was a very good fascist.
I just saw the 10-minute ticker, man. Oh, here we go. Look, good old 10-minute ticker. Remember that? Look at Dallas taking it to the Cardinals.
Some crazy stuff, man.
And Miami getting geared up. Next week's matchup with the Buffalo Bills.
And that was our Achilles heel right there, the Buffalo Bills.
They're in. Great play.
As far as the Dolphins are concerned. After the Seahawks knee deep now in Miami territory.
He is. And a big penalty because
For the 10-yard line. The touchdown pass to Farrell Edmonds.
I was at that championship game too, fella. We played the Bills. Jeff Frost. Oh, we should have won that freaking game.
Back in the game. It's just that you have
Oh, Reggie Roby.
Whether you have a chance to run it
The
all the way
late,
back
great
or get out
Reggie
of bounds.
Roby.
He was the only punter that had a watch on him. You know that,
Snap
right?
a good one to Roby.
See you later, ball.
That ball used to go so high in the air. I remember being at the game, seeing that ball just
Man, that was great
skying.
stuff.
Huh?
That was great stuff, man. Good old days.
Yeah, you're bringing me back in time, man. The other two don't know what the hell we're talking about right now.
Brian just didn't want to watch greatness. That's all. So I'm at the 153 mark. So about 7 minutes. I'll stop it at 2 hours, I suppose. That's a good round number.
Color, did you used to go to the Orange Bowl?
No,
Back
no,
in the
I've never been to the Orange Bowl.
Oh, so you're a little bit younger than me. Yeah.
Yep, I started watching around 86, like when I kind of knew what I was looking at, you know.
Yeah. I started probably around like 76, 77.
Matter of fact, that game we just watched, that season, 1990, the first game of the season was against the Patriots, and we were down by like god awful amount in the third quarter, and Marino battled us back and threw a touchdown to Tony Page. That was one of the most unbelievable things I've ever seen in my life. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then to end up winning the game, Joe Namath was on the color commentary.
Oh my God! My father and I, we used to sit there and listen to Joe Namath. And
he wasn't calling, he wasn't play by play, but he was doing the color commentary of that game.
Yeah, I couldn't hear. We both were like, "Oh my God!" We couldn't stand listening to him.
And Marino had thrown like 4 interceptions that day. You know, we were losing the whole ball game, and he just took us back in the fourth, dude, and ended up winning the game, dude. It was like, and then there was like a minute something left after we scored the go-ahead touchdown, and then Lewis Oliver ended up shutting it down, bro. Like putting his hit on their guy that was just like it.
I used to remember Tony Page.
Oh yeah, number 49.
He would lay the freaking wood, dude.
That's who the touchdown was to take the lead, and it was like it was through. He was on a bootleg rollout at like the 15-yard line and gunned the ball in through like 3 defenders into Tony Page. Man, it was just unbelievable. So vintage Dan Marino,
and you could very, very much count on him on a 3rd and 1. He was going to get it.
Yep, and the funny thing is that was the first game of the season, and that was back when the Patriots. I think they went 1-15 that particular season. They were back when they were still garbage, and it was Steve Grogan was their quarterback, and he was actually fairly serviceable. So that's kind of why we were losing. It was in New England, first game of the season. I think we had gone like 6 seasons in a row winning our first game, and they had gone 6 in a row losing their first game or something. So it was all the cards were favoring New England that day. You know what I mean? And he just brought us back, bro, from like 24-3 or some shit.
Yep.
And it's just like, man, God, that was the first year where it was like, you know, because we started off pretty good that year. That was the year I think we lost in the championship game to Buffalo, in the snow, if I'm not mistaken.
I remember that. Andre Reed kicked our ass, from what I remember.
But we had beat I want to say we had beat the Chiefs in the wild card game.
Something like that. Yeah.
In Joe Robbie. That could have been 92. Now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
Steve DeBerg was still their quarterback, and we ended up taking the lead, and they were driving down to kick a field goal and ended up getting a holding call that took them out of field goal range, and they lost the game. They missed the field goal.
I still remember the damn who was it, Stoyanovich that missed that San Diego kick?
That was in 95. I watched that one recently too. That was in 95.
Beach Club.
Yep. And ironically, we had just beat the Chargers. I think the year before that, or maybe in 92, we beat them in the divisional game to face Buffalo in the championship game. And so 95 was the first year of who was their running back, their star running back back then. Their quarterback was Stan Humphries.
Yep.
And they had just rolled out, I want to say Marshall Faulk, but I'm not sure. Did he play for San Diego to start his career?
No, Marshall Faulk was.
Who was it? It wasn't LaDainian yet. It was the guy right before LaDainian Tomlinson, I believe. And it was a pretty good running back. I forget who it was, but he ate us up, man. And like it was a close game, and then Stoyanovich ended up hitting wide right.
Yep.
At the end of the game.
At the end, we were all hanging out at the Baja Beach Club in Fort Lauderdale. Stoyanovich showed up there partying. Yep. After they got in late, and we were there like at 1 or 2 in the morning, and Stoyanovich was.
I guess it could have been LaDainian Tomlinson. I want to say it was Marshall Faulk, though. I want to say it was Marshall Faulk. I'm pretty sure he started in San Diego.
Was Marshall Falk in San Diego back then? I don't know.
I want to say that's where he started, and then he went to Indianapolis, and then St. Louis. Nope, just Indianapolis and St. Louis. Who the
Yeah,
hell was it?
no, because Marshall Falk was originally in Indianapolis, and then
Right.
and then Indianapolis traded for what's his name? It was with the Rams.
Right. I'm gonna find out who it is right now.
Eric Dickerson ended up with Indianapolis, and then Marshall Falk went to. I'm almost positive it's on.
Wow, we had traded Tony Martin to the Chargers, and he played against us in that game.
Yeah,
Wow.
He had a good game in that game. Actually,
see, I'm only seeing Natron Means and Ronnie Harmon.
Then Natron Means was the running back. Yep.
Yeah, and he was good for the short stint that he did.
Mm-hmm.
They still had Junior Seau on their defense too.
Yep.
That was right before he came to us.
Yep. Actually, Seau, I think, was with them when we beat them the one game.
Yeah. 90 earlier in 92, I believe. Yeah.
Another game I was at that was very memorable for me was actually at Joe Robbie was when we played Kansas City, and Joe Montana and Marcus Allen.
That was the second time we beat them in the playoffs.
Yeah,
in the 90s.
They had Joe Montana and Marcus Allen, and that was,
I want to say that was 95, and we won that game against Joe Montana to go on to lose to the San Diego Chargers.
Exactly. That was when Stoyanovich missed the damn field.
Right. We had beaten Joe Montana the week before that in the wild card game.
Right. It was Marino to Clayton to win that game. Yep.
Exactly.
Yep.
So Junior Seau came to us in 2003.
Mm-hmm. We had a good defense then. Oh my God, do we have a good defense when Seau came?
Mm-hmm.
That was during Nick Saban time when Seau was there,
because he was already with New England by 2006 and finished out his career in 2009 in New England.
Yeah, we had a ridiculous defense that year when Nick Saban was here. The whole problem was the damn doctor.
Dude, I remember when he went to New England. That was a total Tom Brady's there. I'm going to go to New England just to get a ring that I deserve.
Hey,
you know what I mean?
Hey, Culler, let me tell you something. If that doctor didn't screw up and we would have got Breeze, Saban would probably still be here coaching with us, dude. I'm telling you. We would have won multiple freaking Super Bowls with that defense. Okay.
So he didn't make the mistake Flores did. He got out of Dodge as soon as he didn't get his quarterback. He's like, "Fuck y'all, I'm out of here."
No, Mark, how many times do I have to say it? I'm not going to Alabama. How many times do I have to say it?
Right. But that was right. That was before Drew Brees was a no-go.
It was right after.
No, I mean, right after Drew Brees was a no-go, it was. See you guys later.
It was that year when they took Culpepper, and Culpepper wanted to pile drive him at the practice field. Culpepper went after him. You know that, right? And Zach Thomas couldn't stand him either. The only one that liked him was Jason Taylor. Jason Taylor loved him because you know what? Jason Taylor had one of his best years at that time because he made him a hybrid. He wasn't a defensive end. They made him like an outside linebacker where he drop back in coverage and also rush the passer.
You know,
Jason Taylor had one of his best years with Nick Saban. A couple of years there.
The guy that liked Saban ends up in the Hall of Fame, and the guy that didn't can't get in.
Yeah, right? Yeah, Zach Thomas couldn't stand him, and Culpepper wanted to pile drive his ass. Okay. Yeah.
So Nick Saban is the Augustus of the Hall of Fame. He's like, y'all's
Right?
vote. He's like, y'all can vote, but wink, wink, nod, nod. This is what we all know I want to happen.
Right? Sad but true, caller.
I like using that reference because it's, he was trying to, he was trying to keep up the idea that the Senate was still had power and that the Republic still existed. When he would sit in the Senate as the proconsul and be like, winking at him and shit when they go to take their votes. Like everybody knew what Augustus wanted.
Oh shit.
That's why he called himself the Principate and not emperor. He was just the first citizen. He was actually an early form of a president in that respect.
Caller, you're killing me.
He was trying to be like George Washington, but in the background, it would be like if George Washington said, "No, I don't want to be king. Make me a president." And then in the background, he was like, "Yeah, we know what George wants." You know what I mean? And the Senate just votes however, like, it just so happens that, all of George's positions win in the Senate. That was when they were still calling him Octavian. Oh, and then guess how he got his name changed to Augustus, which basically means like exalted one or next to God, basically. You know what I mean? And who had to vote on whether he got that name? The Senate. Like, hey, ladies and gentlemen, we're all here to take a vote on whether to call our president God. He'll be joining us today. He's sitting over there in the seat number 33.
Shit.
We're gonna go with a private vote.
You're fucking killing me, caller.
Knives will not be allowed in the court chambers.
Oh shit.
Especially you, Brutus.
Oh Lord.
Culler's on his tantrum again.
No, we're just imagining how it was in Rome when the Senate voted to give Octavian the name Augustus.
Oh, freaking caller, man. You gotta take it to another level, man.
So you get a little education in on my channel, man. A little Roman history. They used to play sports too. It was like ball in a cup, Oh wait, that was the Mayans. What am I thinking? Like they have these ball courts, and at each end is like a cup. It's the life-size version of ball in a cup.
The metal freaking.
Is it like two girls in
the
the
metal
cup?
image of it? Oh Lord!
You had a bunch of like Mayans dancing around, ball in a cup. It's ball in a cup. It's ball in a cup.
This man Thomas gonna die, bro.
I know, man. I know. I don't want to kill you, bro.
Fucking
I told you I get pretty dry as the night goes on.
Killing me, man.
You gotta get some water, bro.
Now think about this, Brian. Back when the chariot races started in Rome and just in the Justinian period, there was like different factions of chariot racing teams, right? And so they all had their fans, and there was 4 different groups, and they all went by a different color: the greens, the blues, the yellows, and I forget the other color.
Thomas' laugh is contagious.
Right. Right. So eventually, though, the greens and the blues became the only 2 teams left. Basically, they consolidated the other 2 teams. So there was 2 chariot racing teams, the greens and the blues, and it got to the point where the whole chariot racing thing was all wrapped up into their politics and shit. So the greens and the fans of the greens and the blues ended up becoming like these hit squads that would go around town like terrorizing people and shit to get them to vote a certain way and all this, you know what I mean? And it was all centered around all the chariot racing. It would be no different if like Buffalo fans started fighting, started roaming around the streets and fighting bands of Dolphin fans, you know what I mean? Like with weapons and shit, and like one of the teams would go around mugging people like the regular normies and shit that weren't even involved with the racing and all that. It became a big scourge on the society. It's crazy.
Freaking kill me, Culler. I had to put you on I had to put myself on mute because I'm laughing so hard.
Thompson, you made me laugh, man. Your laugh is funny.
Holy shit.
And like the politicians used to use the different factions too, like to, terrorize and shit. And they were just like fans of the chariot racing teams.
Kind of how history is repeating itself right now, unfortunately.
That's what I'm saying. It's like we've always done this, like the way we are with
no, it hasn't changed.
Like that,
It's the same old shit.
It's modern day gladiatorial combat. And so here's the irony. Like, I don't agree with people like these people that come like LeBron or Kaepernick, these people that claim that the leagues are like slave owners, or like the slave industry. But in some respect, they have a point. If you look at it, if you analogize it to like the gladiatorial combat in ancient Rome, the gladiators were actually slaves. You know what I mean? So it's like, now that doesn't mean they couldn't earn their freedom or earn enough money in the arena to buy their freedom and all that. You know what I mean? So in that respect, they were paid and all this. So other than the title of slave, they kind of were just like athletes are today. You know what I mean? Because they could get enough honor in the arena to where it didn't matter what the law wanted. You know what I mean?
Kind of, but
the mob spoke. You know what I mean? The mob ain't gonna let wants this guy to continue. The whole thumbs up, thumbs down thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I doubt there's anything similar to slavery.
The difference is, Culler. The modern athlete is free to go wherever the hell he wants.
Well, true. From that aspect of liberation, yeah, they're liberated. I don't mean to say they're slaves today, but I mean, I understand their premise, though.
They can get the feeling, they can get the assumption,
because here's the thing, though.
The reality is they're not.
Back in ancient Rome, though, you could voluntarily become a slave too. Like, people entered into slavery to pay debts and shit like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now the downside was that, the slave owner didn't care why you became a slave. So if your life was in their hands, no different than any other slave, but people would enter into slavery to like pay debts and shit. Like it was something people volunteered to do in ancient Rome.
To a point, and I guess that the slaves that were on the top of the echelon of the top kind of had their kind of free roam.
Well, sure. But what I mean is, their life was in ancient Rome. Their life was still literally in somebody else's hands. Like, I don't know if you ever got a chance to catch that show, Spartacus, on, I think it was Stars, but it could have been Showtime. But this was, it's a movie. It's a show about Spartacus and that whole story, but it really is also about like, it's kind of a realistic, representation of like life in ancient Rome. You know what I mean? So it's kind of graphic being on a channel like Stars, you know. But what you learn is like things like that, like the slave owner like could do anything. Like it was frowned upon, but they could still kind of do anything, you know. And so a guy would enter into slavery as a volunteer, think, oh, paying my debt, and then next thing you know, he's being told to act out a gladiatorial scene for some little rich Roman kid, and the wooden swords turn into real ones, and in slow motion the guy has the other dude actually act out the final result of the battle. You know what I mean? Like right there, like at the dinner table and shit. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, they entered into slavery sometimes as volunteers, but that didn't absolve them of the fate of any given slave. They would just be lucky if they didn't have anything like that happen to them before they paid their debt off and got out.
Of course, they still had
some of them would end up in the arena and die in the arena and never get out, having just entered to pay off a debt.
The bottom line is
we lost your audio there, Thomas. You're like hardly.
I'm sorry.
Legible.
Can you hear me now?
Like very low, but better.
Because I guess I have my hand over volume, maybe. Oh. You hear me now?
I mean, it's still about the same.
Yeah, I would hear you, but it's like you're in a tunnel or
it's
something.
legible now, but it's still really low.
I'm on my phone.
Yeah, it sounds like you're talking through your phone on a recording device. That's what it sounds like.
No, the thing I was saying is that, yeah, you still had to perform. So.
I don't think it's nothing like slavery. I think that's just more of a, I get it.
Oh, I agree. I agree with you. I'm just pointing out that, like, I understand their framework, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Like
it
where
feel like it could feel like it. I mean, but you could use that.
But it is hyperbole. It's like, come on,
anything.
LeBron, you're a billionaire, dude. Come on, man.
I could use slave. Yeah, you could. Yeah. The whole that definition, slavery, being enslaved, as far as in a modern term, you could use it in anything really. As far as
right. I think they're more speaking of the treatment in the market, like how they're measured, how they're measured and weighed, and treated like
some
cattle.
Are making an argument
what I mean?
about the white owners and then the black.
Well, the thing is, they still feel like pawns. That's the thing.
They feel like what? I'm sorry.
Like pawns.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, they're objectified, and that's understandable, I guess. But dude, I'm sorry, man. I know money ain't everything, but dude, if somebody was objectifying me and giving me millions of dollars, I think I might be able to compartmentalize that.
And not only that, you get to able to help your family fight poverty. Then you get to be able to help your community. So I don't understand the slavery nonsense when. In slavery, they didn't even want you guys helping each other. The guys, you know what I'm saying? They guys want you to turn on each other and bring them more into slavery.
The thing is, with basketball players compared to football players, it's more of a team where basketball players, I could see where one guy could take over a game at the end of the game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he's the star, and he's making, hundreds of millions. But the owner's making billions.
Right.
Okay. And that's what is the deficiency.
Well, it's just
there's nothing wrong with that.
It's just like when the baseball players go on strike. It's like you got millionaires arguing over millions with billionaires.
Yeah, but I don't like that argument. Oh, because they make billions and stuff. Like, they start.
They do. To me is. This is the thing, is that the player don't have any, now there ain't no risk. Back in the day, there was risk. where now there really isn't no risk. If you're an owner of a basketball team or a football team, you're guaranteed to make money.
Right.
You're guaranteed.
Yeah, but they still have to work to get to that point where they feel even comfortable that they have limited risk. Like it's small risk. There's still always a risk to it. But yes, they are most likely to make a profit. But they still have to build. They have to build people, and then they always can recycle these players. They got drafts, younger people, so they have built a model, a business model that could be able to work long term.
Well, as far as a football owner, there is zero risk. Zero. There ain't no risk. They're making money, and they're making money hand over fist. They're making money every year. Okay, they're making a certain percentage every year because it ain't like it used to be. There's a cap. So, and they're making their money off of hey, that stadium could be completely empty, and the concessions could be completely zero, and they're making money. Okay, and the bottom line is, when they go to sell it, that's when they make a lot of money. They're making money every year, and they're making a lot of money when they sell it.
And that's their investment. So they're getting what they sow, and they're reaping what they sow. There's nothing wrong with that. Just because they're making money off of the investment that they made, that they had to take out money, they had to liquidate for this investment. That don't mean they have to give it to the players. The players are getting what they're getting paid for, their contract.
Yeah, I understand. The old saying is, it takes money to make money. And that's basically what it has been. It takes money to make money.
So
That it does.
that slavery talk is just nonsense, because it's just like an employee. They're just an employee. That's it. They're at another job that's just popularized.
Yeah. Well, the problem is there's only a few selected few that can afford to buy a football franchise. It's not that easy. Ain't many people that can afford it.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just they have the money to do it. So that's the people they invest in to do it. They said, okay, I have all this money. They could invest in other things, but they said, let me invest in here. And then over time, the NFL became very profitable.
Right.
I'll tell you what happened. I have no problem with Ross. But the problem I have is when he tries to be Jerry Jones. That's a problem. Just get out of the way.
Well, I was thinking about that earlier tonight, Thomas. I think it's more Greer trying to act like a Jerry Jones type than it is Ross.
Could be.
You know, as far as meddling, trying to act as a proxy for the head coach.
Stop that nonsense, Cutler. You know, Chris Greer is a draft guru.
Oh, I don't doubt. I'm not. No, that's not. I'm not. No, I'm not faulting him for those. I'm saying that, like, why doesn't he just say he wants to be the head coach too? You know what I mean?
I'll tell you one thing.
Chris Greer is a facilitator.
He's made it hard. He's made it hard for the other two coaches that he hired, and then this one he hired is a yes man. So it's like,
No. Chris Greer is a facilitator. Whatever the coach want, the vision that the coach want, he does it.
And you don't think Chris Greer supplants his vision on top of that coach?
What do you mean?
Hasn't had any luck. In other words, he's had to fire two coaches because he wasn't able to do it.
No, he fired the two coaches because the vision wasn't
able
good.
to do that.
He fired the two coaches because their vision that he believed wasn't good anymore. Simple.
Well, I don't know how a couple years is enough to say that. We were on the right track.
No, I doubt that.
We could disagree with that, but I really believe it. Well, despite everybody's feeling towards Flores' attitude, we were on the right track. That's why the national folks were so shocked by it.
Yeah, it was on the right track as far as defense, but the whole team, nah, man.
Yeah, but you don't know what was coming next. I mean, come on.
Who
Man.
knows? Who knows what's gonna come next?
Oh, well, never.
Running back
Because
community.
none of that's the reason he was fired, so we'll never know anyway.
Yeah. So that it's just a dead horse, huh?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I've been saying the whole time. It's oil. It was oil and water, whatever the reason. We could disagree on the reasons, but there's no reason to argue about them at this point. It was oil and water for whatever reason.
But do you agree? Do you guys agree that all these conspiracies and lies and who drafted who and who coached who, that's all going to end this year?
Yeah, I know.
It's all going to be whatever the spins and whatever they want to spin and everything that they're trying to say. It's all going to come to a head this year.
And that's why those that do not like Tua should be excited. They should be excited this year because there's no more excuses this year. And I'm a leader of the Tua nons. I am a Tua near captain. I was nominated, for my great, abilities and stuff, but if he doesn't show out this year, he
I'm not saying just Tua. I'm saying everybody. I'm saying Greer. I'm saying Boyer.
Yeah.
I'm saying everybody. All this crap where who coached who drafted who. Because there's all this spin stuff going on the whole year. Oh well, Greer went with Iggy because Flo wanted him, and well, you know what? And Greer went with this guy and that guy, and Flo at the end decided he didn't want this guy and that guy, so Greer got rid of this guy and that guy, and then he signed a free agency. All that's out the window now. Okay, now it's like the rubber's gonna meet the asphalt, and we're gonna find out this year.
Yep, you're right about that. With that being said, we're going to continue. We can continue this backstage if you want. I mean, I got to go down in a second anyway, but there's really nobody listening. But for anybody on VOD, like and share this video, please subscribe to my channel for more of this great content. And I'm going to go ahead and shut down the stream. Thank you for those that did come by and watch, and thank you for anybody that's watching in on demand. Thank you very much.